how to become a listed company through SME IPO. Most of you must be aware what an IPO is, but still, those who don't know what an IPO is, let me tell you briefly. An IPO is an event where a company offers its shares to the public for subscription. That means before the IPO, the company is a private company, and after the IPO, the company becomes a public listed company. That is the difference. Okay. And retail investors, institutional investors, HNIs, and others can buy your shares in the stock market at the time of IPO. Okay. So that way your company gets listed and you can raise funds through the IPO. Now, there has been a myth prevailing in the market that only large companies can bring out an IPO. That is a myth. Long time back, say maybe 10 years ago, only large companies were allowed to come out with an IPO. But for last almost 10, 11 years, there has been a change. And now even small and medium companies are allowed to come out with an IPO. It's a separate segment on the same stock exchanges, that is National Stock Exchange as well as Bombay Stock Exchange. Okay. So this is the difference. Now it's possible for smaller companies and medium-sized companies also to come out with an IPO. If we look at the statistics, during the year 2022, 107 companies, SME companies, raised 1,900 crores from stock market by way of SME IPOs. Okay. And this figure was 142% higher than the last year. That means as compared to 2021, 2022, 1,900 crore was raised. Okay. Now, let me tell you briefly about this webinar. The duration is going to be somewhere around 90 minutes. And I'm thankful to all of you that despite of your busy schedule, you are attending this webinar. That shows that you are quite interested in growing your business and taking your company to the next level. And SME IPO is the entry gate for that. Okay. This is going to be mainly in English and a little bit of Hindi. So please don't ask for the language. And whatever Hindi is spoken, you will be able to understand. That's going to be very small. Okay. Now we will also talk about who is the person for whom this webinar is going to be useful. So clearly, this webinar is meant for entrepreneurs, say SME entrepreneurs, small and medium-sized business owners who want to grow their business exponentially and take their companies to the next level, right? Then we are not going to discuss any gyan, no fluff, nothing useless. We are going to talk only to the point and only actionable stuff, which is going to be useful for you. And if you've got any question, I request all of you to note it down with you. And at the end of the webinar, we'll be having a separate session for question and answers. So at that time, you can ask your questions. Okay. Because if you keep on asking questions in between, that will disturb the flow of the webinar. So please ask the question at the end, right? What I expect from you is that you will not spam the webinar, because I've seen some people in different webinars, they keep on writing their contact numbers, email IDs, their Instagram IDs. So that is not going to serve any purpose, and that is going to distract people who is seriously attending the webinar. Okay. Since you are attending this webinar, despite of your busy schedule, you could have spent this time with your family. You could have been having your dinner or enjoying a movie or doing something else. But since you are attending this, that shows your dedication. And if you are attending this, please attend till the end, because half knowledge is of no use. Okay. I expect full focus from you. And if you want, you can take notes so that can serve as a piece you can remember in the future, because you may forget so many things if you don't take notes, right? Now, one simple question: what is the biggest challenge for SMEs? SMEs के लिए सबसे बड़ा challenge क्या है? What is the biggest challenge for SMEs? I want all of you to answer. The biggest challenge which SMEs face. Come on. Funds, capital, funds. Raising capital without security. No more answers? I'd expect you to proper plan, okay? Don't be shy. I just want you to interact so that the flow is continued and you have proper attention, right? So if we look at the comments, the main problem or the biggest problem or the biggest issue with SMEs is funding, capital, okay? And since capital is the biggest problem, funding is the biggest problem, what to do? What to do? What to do? What to do? The simple question is that you need funding, and if you don't have sufficient funding, that is just like running over an empty tank. Imagine you are driving a beautiful car, a luxury car or an ordinary car, and you are not having sufficient fuel. So what will happen? You will have to push your car, or somebody else will have to push your car because there is no fuel. Similarly, in case of business, if you don't have funding, then your business gets distracted, hampered, and you are not able to run your day-to-day business efficiently. Because even day-to-day and expansion of the business, everywhere you need funds, funds, and funds. Okay. Now, when funding is required, most of the entrepreneurs, they opt for loans, okay, business loans. That may be against a collateral security, maybe without any collateral security, maybe from a bank, from an institution, or from friends and family members. But loan is the only alternative when they require more money for their business. Okay. Now, the interest element is always there when you raise funds, either from banks or from institutions or from your loved ones or family friends. You have to pay interest. And generally, interest costs are very high and they eat up a large portion of your profits. Okay. In a way, you are working for the bank. You are not working for yourself. Suppose you are making a profit of 2 crores. You have got a loan element of 10 crores. So you end up paying somewhere around 1.5 crore towards the interest cost. So that way, a very small portion of your profit is retained with you in your business. So what happens is a major portion of your profit is eaten up by the interest cost. So in a way, you are working for the bank, right? Now, let's take one simple example, very interesting one. You are here. Most of the entrepreneurs, they are here. And what is this place? This is your comfort zone. You are running your business and you don't want to change things. Though everyone who is into business, they want to move to a place where magic happens. You want to move to a bigger opportunity. You want to expand your business, but you feel comfortable in your comfort zone. You जैसा आपका है वैसे आप चलते रहना चाहते हो, आप तकलीफ नहीं उठाना चाहते. Why? Because if you want to move from this place to this place, here to here, lots of problems are there. Sharks are there. Suppose this is a sea, this is an ocean. So if you want to move from this place to this place, lots of problems are there. So what is the way out? The way out is you need a yacht or a ship to move from this place to this place. And what is the ship? The name of this ship is SME IPO. If you take care of, if you want to grow your business, if you want to move to the financial world, to grow exponentially, you need to be listed company. Okay. Why I'm saying so? Now, most of you will think, what is the way out? And why should you get listed? Getting listed is very, very important. Why? Because in case of, let's take one example. Suppose you have a company with a 10 crore net worth and you are having 100% control over your shares, or say you are the 100% owners of your company. That means you are having 100% shares in your company with a net worth of 10 crore. Now, if you get this company listed on the stock exchange, you have to offer 25% minimum to the public for subscription. So in that case, what remains with you is 75% shares. 25% is gone to the public. But the valuation may increase to 50 crores or 100 crores. So which is a better situation? Having 100% of 10 crore net worth or having 75% of 100 crore valuation? I want your answers. Which is a better situation? %75%. Second one, obviously, because second situation is a much better option. So that is the reason listing is required. Listing is a must. Going to the stock exchange and having an SME IPO is the best way out. Okay. Now, let's move further. Most people, most SMEs, most SME owners are unaware that how they can unlock the value in their business. When I say unlock the value, that means your business has got tremendous value. And you have to know, you have to learn how to unlock the value and how to create wealth in your business. There is an alternate source. Most of them, they don't know that there is a way out, and the way out is IPO. SME IPO, particularly for small and medium enterprises, right? But most of you may think that we are very small and it's not possible for us. हम छोटे हैं अभी, हमारा size कम है business का, like that. So even if you are a small business owner, even if you are a medium scale business owner, you can enter the stock market, and we'll be discussing all that in a very short while. Okay. Now, with the opportunity which has been opened to small and medium entrepreneurs, even the small can dream big. Even the small can dream big. How? We'll be talking about it shortly, right? You may be surprised that the top 5,000 companies, all of them, what is common in them? All of them are listed on the stock exchange. Top 5,000 companies. So if they are listed, why not you? Why not you? It's a simple question, right? So what we are going to talk in this webinar is what are the eligibility norms? That means who can come out with an SME IPO? What are the various steps involved in SME IPO? What strategies should be followed? What preparations are required? What are the benefits of SME IPO? Best practices, etc., etc., etc. Okay. Now, earlier I asked one simple question: what is the biggest problem? Now I'm asking, what are the pain points of SMEs apart from funding? So if we look at it, almost all SMEs have limited access to finance. Finance is always scarce. आपको पैसे की हमेशा business में कमी रहती है ना? So since you are short of funds, you have got limited scope of growth, because growth requires funding. And unless you have got sufficient funding, growing your business is just next to impossible. Okay? You don't have any valuation of your business or the capital invested. You don't have a valuation. Okay? Your 10 rupee shares are 10 rupees only. Suppose you have invested 2 crores in business, that is 2 crores only, and only the profit will be added year on year on year. Okay, there will be no other value addition, right? No recognition. Unlisted companies are not recognized. Once you get listed, you become a listed company, you get recognition all over, everywhere, even with banks, financial institutions, in the market, everywhere. And there is no wealth creation. Your 10 rupee shares remain 10 rupees. Remains 10 rupees, not more than that. Then you are normally, as an SME, having heavy debt burden. Loan रहता है बहुत सारा, उधार का पैसा है, interest देना है और चुकाना है. So that heavy debt burden is a big problem for SMEs. And since you don't have requirements or say many compliances to be done, so you don't have appropriate systems and controls in your business. That is another problem. Most of the entrepreneurs, they are always afraid of compliances. But let me tell you, if you want to grow, you have to be a compliant company. Compliances are very, very essential, and it's not that much difficult if you go it and do it professionally. You can hire professionals also to do the compliance work, right? Now, one question, how many large companies are in India? When I say large companies, that means companies with a turnover of more than 250 crores. How many companies? Large companies. 1,000 plus. More answers, please. How many large companies? When say large companies, that means companies with turnover of more than 250 crores. No more answers, no more guesses. I'm not testing your knowledge. 5,000, 1,500 plus, 5,000 plus. Okay. More answers, please. More answers, please. 5,000 plus. Anyway, well, the number is 15,000 plus. The number is 15,000 plus. And how many of these 15,000 plus companies are listed? How many of these 15,000 plus companies are listed? How many? 500 to 1,000, 5,000, 20%. All. More answers, please. Almost all. 2,000. Anyway, thank you all for the participation. 7,500 plus. The answer is 6,000 plus companies are listed on the stock exchange. 6,000 plus. So 6,000 plus out of 15,000, that makes somewhere around 35% of the large companies. These are listed. And you may be surprised and you may be proud that India is the country with maximum number or largest number of listed companies in the world. This is the only country in which we live is having the maximum number of listed companies. No other company has got this many listed companies. Okay. Now, how many SMEs are there in India? When I say SMEs, means companies with turnover of 5 crore plus and less than 250 crores. 5 करोड़ से ऊपर 250 करोड़ से नीचे कितनी कंपनीज हैं इंडिया में? See, Ashin Kumar, USA is also not having that much companies. And let's talk about how many companies with turnover between 5 and 250 crores. Unlimited, 50,000 plus. More answers, please. Any more guesses? I'm not testing you as I told you earlier. Just to make it a bit interesting, I'm talking all this. We'll be coming to the main points very shortly. 50,000 plus. More answers, please. 1 lakh, 20,000. Companies between 5 crore and 250 crores turnover. 10 lakh plus. Thank you everyone. The number is 3 lakhs plus. 3 lakhs plus SMEs are there in India, which are having turnover between 5 crore and 250 crores, right? How many of these companies are listed? Out of these 3 lakhs, how many are listed? How many are listed out of these 3 lakh companies? How many? Come on fast, 10%. More answers, please. 227 in NSE SME, okay? 1%. 30,000, 5%, 500, around 200. 1%, 400. Well, to be precise, 700 plus companies are listed. Out of the 3 lakhs plus, 700 SMEs approximately are listed. And if we look at the data, out of these 700 plus companies listed on Bombay Stock Exchange as well as National Stock Exchange, the market capitalization of these companies is 1,50,000 crores. 1.5 lakh crore का valuation है इन companies का. 1.5 lakh crore, 1.5 lakh crores, these 700 plus companies. And the total funds these companies, 700 companies raised from the stock market was just 10,000 crores. Just 10,000 crores, which is valued at 1.5 lakh crores today. Isn't it interesting? Definitely, this is interesting. So, out of the 700 plus companies, 250 plus companies has migrated to the main board. That means these companies, 250 plus companies has moved to the main stock exchange from the SME segment, right? And average valuation of these 700 plus companies is 100 crore plus each company. Each company is having a market value of more than 100 crores. And they raised only 12.4 crores. Average, they raised 12.4 crores from the market. The valuation is 100 crore plus. So, why there's a small number? Why so small number? That is, say around 700 companies are listed out of 3 lakhs plus. What are the reasons? If we look at the reasons, lack of awareness. मालूम ही नहीं लोगों को. Lack of knowledge. They don't know how to do it. They don't have any knowledge. Lack of information. Small and medium entrepreneurs don't have information access because they are always busy in day-to-day affairs of their business and they don't find time. And even if they have time, they don't have sources of information. That is another problem, right? Then lack of education. When I say education, I'm not talking about your academic qualification. Lack of education means educating yourself in the business arena, in the day-to-day life. That there is a lack of education. Then most of the entrepreneurs, even if they know about IPOs and all that, they are always afraid of the IPO process. No doubt, this is a cumbersome, a difficult process, but professionals like me are there who can help you out in this process. Okay. Then indecisiveness is another reason. करें नहीं करें, IPO करना है नहीं करना है, जाएं नहीं जाएं. Why? Because you don't have a clear vision about these opportunities, about the process, about the system, and about the eligibility, etc., etc. So, after this webinar today, all of you will be having the basic awareness, basic knowledge, and basic information about SME IPOs. So you won't be having any excuse that you don't have the access to awareness, knowledge, and information, right? Okay. So let me tell you briefly about myself. I'm a chartered accountant by profession with 44 plus years of experience. I have been doing project consulting and bank loans, institutional loans in the early stage of my career. Then for around 8 years, I published a weekly financial newspaper known as Money Media. Was very popular in those days. That was in the years 90s. From 91 to around 97, 98, I was running the newspaper. I was publishing, I was editing, and I was doing consulting work also. Okay. I have helped dozens of SMEs in their IPOs. And I was the sole advisor and marketed the 105 crore IPO of Canterville Retail. All of you must be knowing about Canterville Retail India. I was their sole advisor and I managed to get them 105 crores raised through the market. And the IPO at that time was oversubscribed 2.55 times. Okay. Now, I'm on a mission to help 1,000 entrepreneurs, SME entrepreneurs particularly, achieve growth in their business through SME IPOs. So if you feel that you can also be a listed company, I want you to say me in the chat box. If you feel that you can be a listed company, I want you to say me in the chat box. Say me. Good, 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 good. Right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I told you, please keep your questions with you. We'll have a separate portion at the end of the webinar for questions and answers. So please don't ask questions in between. Okay. Now, why listing? What is the purpose of listing? Okay. What is the purpose? Either you can go for listing only. There are promoters, there are entrepreneurs who have sufficient funds, or say more than sufficient funds with them. They don't want to raise more funds from the market, from the stock exchange, and they want their company to be listed. When I say this, that means they want the company to be listed, and their family, friends, relatives, distributors, dealers, suppliers, all those people will be subscribing to the IPO, and they don't have to go to the public for subscription. That means they don't want public funds. And the second option is that you want to get your company listed, and along with that, you want to raise funding for your business through the IPO from investors, maybe retail investors, maybe HNIs, maybe institutional investors. Okay. So there are two types of IPOs. In first category, your loved ones, your known people will be putting up their money. You don't have to go to the public. In the second scenario, you have to raise funds from the public, right? Now, both SME and BSE, NSE and BSE are open. You can get listed either on National Stock Exchange or Bombay Stock Exchange, right? It's easier and relaxed eligibility criteria. The eligibility criteria for main board companies, main board listing are quite strict, quite difficult. But for SME IPO, there has been lots of relaxation and the process is comparatively easier. Okay. You can become a debt-free company if you go for SME IPO, because repayment of the debt, repayment of the loan can be one of the objects of the IPO. Because when we go for an IPO, we have to show where the money will be used, which we raise from the stock market. So one of the objects or one of the utilization criteria can be repayment of loan, and that is allowed. So you can become a debt-free company by going public, right? If you go for IPO, get your company listed, you can multiply the valuation of your business many, many times. When I say many times, you might have seen there are companies with shares of face value of 10 rupees quoting at 50 rupees, 100 rupees, 500 rupees, 1000 rupees, 5000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, and like that. So that 10 rupee share is valued according to the market price. So that is how unlocking the value happens. Okay. And that is the way how wealth is created. If you own a company with 10 crore net worth, as I told you earlier, unlisted company, the valuation is 10 crores. But if you get listed and your share is quoted at 100 rupees, then you have got a net worth of 100 crores. So that is the difference. So that way you create wealth. You are just creating wealth through listing. You get listed, wealth is created, right? You don't have to pay any interest on the funds which you raise through the IPO. Any funds which are raised through the IPO don't carry any interest element. ब्याज नहीं देना पड़ता आपको. In IPO funds पर आपको ब्याज नहीं देना पड़ता. Okay. And you don't have to return that money till the time your company is listed. You don't have to refund that company. No shareholder can come to you and ask for refund. No. If he wants money, he can sell his shares in the market and get his money. But he cannot come to you and ask, "Sahab, mere ko nahi chahiye, apna share wapas le lo." No, nobody can. So no refund is required. Okay. And if you have got some outside investors, some family friends or other people who have invested in your business and you get listed, so those people get an easy liquidity. They can sell their shares in the market without disturbing the flow of your business. Otherwise, what happens? Suppose somebody has invested, say, 1 crore, 2 crore in your business, and they want to get out of it, then you have to repay them till the time you are unlisted. So your business may be affected because cash outflow is there. But in case of listed companies, you are not bothered about that because that person can sell his shares in the stock market and your business is not affected, right? Then the shares of your company are just like currency. After listing, suppose you need funds in your business or for your personal use, so you can issue more shares or you can sell some portion, a small percentage of your holding in your company in the stock market, and the next day the cash is there in your bank. That is just like a currency. You are having a currency which you can exchange for hard cash. Okay. Then enhanced brand value. Once you get listed, your company carries a better brand value and gains recognition also. Banks, institutions, and everybody else will start recognizing you. Once you tell you are a listed company, people have got a different perception for you. Okay. So recognition is there, brand valuation is there. After 2 years of SME IPO, you can migrate to the main stock exchange also, if you qualify for that. And that qualification criteria is not very tough. It's very easy. So after 2 years, you can migrate, right? Then tax benefits are there for you as an entrepreneur, owner of the listed company, for the company, and for the investors. Everybody is in a win-win situation. Everybody has got tax benefits. Okay. Free publicity you get because once you are listed, your company's name will be appearing on the stock exchange board every day. All the systems, computers where they are looking at the screen for stock exchange prices, share prices, your company's name will also appear there. So you get free publicity. And apart from that, there may be some newspapers, magazines, websites who would like to interview you and publish it free of cost if you are performing good in your business. So that way you get free publicity. And certain states in the country are offering subsidy also to meet a part of the IPO expenses. Some states are giving 5 lakhs, some states are giving 10 lakhs and like that. And that is just to meet out a part of the expenses on SME IPO, right? Then there's always a magic of market capitalization, as explained earlier, that your equity share with a face value of 10 rupees may become 20 rupees, 50 rupees, 100 rupees, 500 rupees, 1000 rupees, 5000 rupees, maybe more than that. That's a fact. You can check it in the market. There are companies with a huge valuation. You can also become like that. You can become another Reliance or Tata or Birla. If you've got capability, definitely you can become. So this is just the gateway, right? Is it mind-boggling? किसके दिमाग का बत्ती चली? Good. Some people are thinking that they are not lucky enough. So getting lucky is within your control. If you make efforts in that direction, you are not less luckier than those people. वो कोई उनके ऊपर वरदान नहीं आया था. They just articulated the things. They went through all this process. They made money. All big companies started small. So don't think that way. Okay. If you are trying hard, definitely you will get results, but trying hard in the right direction is what is needed. Okay. So don't get disheartened. Have courage. Okay, let's move forward. Now, you people may be thinking, why not the main stock exchange and why SME segment? Why? There is a difference. As I told earlier, the entry norms and compliances are stricter in case of main board as compared to the SME segment. What are the differences? Let's have a glance at that. If you get your company listed on SME exchange, as a SME IPO, your IPO is approved by the stock exchange only. And for main board, the approval is from SEBI. and stock exchange also. SEBI is the main authority for main board. Stock exchange is the authority for SME. In case of SME IPO, minimum application size is 1 lakh. Whereas in the main board, normally the application size is 10,000 to 15,000. Okay. Post-issue capital, face value of the post-issue capital of your company in case of SME should not be more than 25 crores. 25 crore से कम होना चाहिए face value SME IPO के लिए. Main board, it has to be more than 10 crores. So that is the difference. Okay. In case of SME listing, there should be profit. Your company should be profitable in at least 1 year out of the last 3 years. पिछले 3 साल में से कम 1 साल में profit बनाया हो. That is the requirement. Okay. And in case of main board, you have to have average profit before tax of 15 crores for last 3 financial years. 15 crores average. That means 45 crore का profit चाहिए main board में जाने के लिए पिछले 3 साल में. Right? Then underwriting. Underwriting is a process, is a system whereby there is some individual or a company or a body who gives a sort of assurance that if your issue is not subscribed by the public and is short subscribed or say negligibly subscribed, that underwriter will pay the balance, will make your issue successful by investing his money in the IPO. Okay, so that way you are insured and you are assured that IPO will be subscribed. It will not fail. In case of main board, that is not mandatory, that is optional. Some companies go for underwriting, some companies don't go for underwriting. But in case of SME, this is a must and this is a better choice to get underwritten. Okay. Now, in case of SME IPO, you need at least 50 share applications, minimum 50. In case of main board, you need minimum 1,000 share applications. Okay. SME listed companies are required to file half-yearly balance sheets, say accounts, that to abridged, short, brief balance sheet आपको साल में 2 बार submit करना होता है. And main board companies, they are required to file comprehensive accounts, say comprehensive balance sheet, profit loss account along with all schedules every quarter. हर तीसरे महीने उनको file करना पड़ता है, right? And there is a concept of market making. There is a stockbroker or a broking company who is giving buy and sell quotes every day in case of SME companies, and that is mandatory for 3 years. I've written here 2 years. That means I want, if you want to go for SME listing, I want you to be migrated to main board after 2 years. Okay. Otherwise, that is mandatory for 3 years. So that way, this is an option available to the shareholders, and they know that this is the price at which they can sell their shares, or this is the price at which they can buy the shares. If they want to buy, they can place the orders with the market maker. If they want to sell, they can place the orders in the market. There are buyers and sellers, but the market maker is the person who just facilitates the price. So every day he is putting up quotes. Suppose the share price is around 50 rupees. So he may say, I sell at 50 rupees, I buy at 45 rupees. Or say, I buy at 50 rupees, I sell at 52 rupees, or say 55 rupees. So that way, there are two-way quotes, buy quotes and sell quotes, which are placed in the market from the market maker. And the market maker is appointed by the company, right? In case of main board, this is not required, this is not mandatory, and you cannot have. Okay. Now, sorry, what are the eligibility criteria? कौन लोग SME IPO कर सकते हैं? Who can come out with an SME IPO? You want to know? Those who want to know, say I. Those who want to know, say I. If you want to know who is eligible, who can do it, say I. Good. Good. Fast, please, so that we can finish in time or say before time. Good. Thank you, everyone. So what are the basic criteria, eligibility criteria? First thing is that the company which want to get listed as an SME should be in the business for minimum 3 years. पिछले 3 साल से बिजनेस आपका चालू होना चाहिए. It should be more than 3 years old. Simple first requirement. Second requirement is your business should have been profitable in at least 1 year out of the last 3 years. 3 साल में से कम 1 साल में profit होना चाहिए. Okay. Then there should be a positive net worth. There should not be negative net worth. If your company is having negative net worth, then you are not eligible. Okay. In case of NSE, National Stock Exchange, you should have net tangible assets of 1.5 crores. Net tangible assets means all your assets minus current liabilities should be minimum 1.5 crore. Okay. This is very beautiful concept that even known company entities are eligible. Even if you are running your business as a sole proprietor or in partnership or as one LLP, you can get converted into a limited company and come out with the SME IPO. So that's not a problem, even if you are running the business as a proprietor or partnership or other way. Okay, you can get converted and come out with the IPO. Then there should not be any change in the promoters during last 1 year before the IPO. पिछले 1 साल में वही promoters रहने चाहिए जो पहले थे. 1 साल IPO से 1 साल पहले तक promoters में कोई change नहीं होना चाहिए. The company should have a website. Okay. And the post-issue paid-up capital should not increase more than 25 crores. So these are the eligibility criteria. Easy, difficult? Tell me, easy or difficult? Easy or difficult? Now, let me tell you one key point. Like if you want to do IIT, the IIT institutions say you should have at least 60% marks in your 12th grade. 12वीं class में 60% marks होना चाहिए. But can you get admitted in IIT with 60% marks? No. Why? Because that is the eligibility criteria. You should be eligible as well as you should be capable. So if you have capability, only then you can come out with the IPO, right? When I say capability, here they are saying you should be profitable in 1 year out of the last 3 years. अब आपने मान लो बोला साहब मैंने पिछले साल 1 लाख रुपया प्रॉफिट किया. You made a profit of 1 lakh in the last year or say any one of the last 3 years. Would any investor put his money in the IPO? No. So you should have the eligibility as well as the capability. You should be an attractive company to get investments from the investors. Okay. So these are the basic things. If there is any change in the promoters, they have to wait 1 year, not 3 years. During last 1 year before the IPO, there should not be any change in the promoters. Okay. So these are the eligibility criteria, and any business which is legally allowed to be done, any business which is legally allowed to be done is eligible for getting listed as SME. आपका जो भी business है, whether it's manufacturing or trading or working as an intermediary, in any of the businesses which are legally allowed to be done in India, you are eligible for SME listing. So business wise, there is no restriction. Any business, any industry which is legally allowed can come out with SME IPO. All right. Now, what is the process? How to go about it? This is a 4-stage process. So who want to know the process? If you want to know the process, say me. Say me in the chat box. Good, 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 good. All of you want to know the process. Very good, very good, very good. Thank you everyone. So this is a 4-step or 4-stage IPO process. And what are the 4 stages? What are the 4 stages? First stage is preparation. Okay. First stage is the preparation stage. In the preparation stage, a feasibility report about the IPO is prepared. What is going to be the size of the IPO? What is going to be the valuation of your company? All these things has to be there in the feasibility report. And the feasibility report is prepared by your lead managers. Lead managers means they are merchant bankers authorized by SEBI who can do this feasibility report and who will be taking care of the IPO. Okay, so first thing is feasibility report on IPO. Then appointment of IPO advisors. Let me tell you, we are acting as an IPO advisor for so many companies. Then appointment of lead managers. We will do all this selection of all the intermediaries. We'll select the lead manager also for you. The merchant banker or the lead manager will do the due diligence. He'll ensure that all the legal requirements are met by your company. Then he will compile the information and review the offer document. An offer document, which is known as prospectus, is prepared by the lead managers, and they will review the offer document. Okay. This is normally a huge booklet running into 400, 500, 600 pages. This is not a small document. This has got all the information about your company, about your business, about all your legal situations. If there's any litigation, that has to be reported there. What are the financials? What are the projections? How you are going to use the money raised through IPO? Everything has to be written there in the offer document. Okay. Then your financial statements, that is your balance sheet, profit loss account, has to be redrafted according to the stock exchange format, and that is done by some other auditors who will certify that, okay, now these figures are according to the stock exchange format. Okay, so these preparations are to be done. Once this is done, then the second stage is filing. In the second stage, you appoint bankers to the issue, you appoint registrars to the issue, advertising agency, and all legal advisors, peer review auditors, all these intermediaries you appoint, and they'll do the required work. Okay. Then filing of the draft offer document, that is draft prospectus. DRHP is the short name for that. And DRHP means draft red herring prospectus. Okay. You file that document with the Bombay Stock Exchange or National Stock Exchange. They may raise certain queries or questions. You have to reply. You have to answer all those questions. This will be done by the merchant banker based on the information supplied by you. The stock exchange will review the offer document. And once they approve it, you have to file the offer document with the registrar of companies. Okay. Then the third stage is marketing and distribution. Once the offer document and everything is prepared and you get approval from the stock exchange, then what is required is that you go for the marketing of the issue. You have to do road shows, press conferences, broker conferences, or other ways and means whereby you tell people or investors about your company, about your business, and about the prospects. Okay. You select anchor investor also. Anchor investor is somebody who is putting up his money and subscribing to a major portion of the IPO, maybe 10%, 15% of the IPO, one single party or more than one parties they subscribe. Okay. Then the IPO is launched and you start receiving share applications. And after the stipulated time, which is normally 3 to 5 days, you close the IPO. Okay. The fourth stage is listing and value creation. After around a week's time of the closure of the issue, allotment of shares is done by the stock exchange. Your registrar to the issue will do it in consultation with the stock exchange, because stock exchange is the authority who will be finalizing the basis of allotment, right? Then you get listing approvals from the stock exchange. Your shares are listed on the stock exchange. A date is fixed on which trading will start. Then payments to intermediaries, balance payments are done through the escrow bankers. And after making these payments, the escrow banker will transfer the funds raised through the IPO in your company's normal bank account. And now you are a listed company and you can enjoy the benefits of listed company. Okay. Now, do you want to see some case studies? Do you want some case studies? All of you will get the payment link, don't worry. Okay. So if we look at these examples, there are certain case studies I want to show you. These are some of the companies, say top 10 companies, which came out with an SME IPO in 2020. Like this first company came out with an IPO at 15 rupees and the market price is around 206 rupees. So you see the kind of appreciation they have. That is somewhere around 1200%, 1200% plus. The second company came out at 45 rupees. The current market price is around 560. The third company, 51 rupees, 475, 28 rupees to 24. This is the way how value is creation, how you can get benefited by getting listed on SME. So these are the top 10 companies. If we look at it, these are 10 top companies which came out with IPO in 2021. So this first company came out with IPO at price of 37 rupees and the market price is 684. 58 rupees, 872, 93, 1,338. This third company, 102, and the market price is 1,328, and like that. Okay. These companies came out with IPO in 2022. You see the prices, 37 rupees IPO price, 270 current market price. Okay, 380, 67 to 381, 135 to 760, and like that. And you may be surprised that SME IPOs has given a much better return to investors as compared to the main board. National Stock Exchange as well, SME, NSE as well as BSE, the SME segment, that IPOs increased valuation by 69%. That means कि जिन लोगों ने पैसा लगाया SME IPOs में, they got a return of 69%, 69%, right, in 2022. And in the main board, in the Sensex, the return was just 4%. 4%. Okay. So this is the difference. SME segment is increasing very fast. If you want to grow, you can be a part of this, right? It is said that there is no shortage of money in the world, only a shortage of people who can think big enough. अगर आप बड़ा सोच सकते हैं तो आप बड़ा कर सकते हैं, पैसे की कमी नहीं है. I remember I was talking to a friend of mine who was a very senior official in a bank. He said कि साहब दिल्ली और बॉम्बे के सड़कों में पैसा बिखरा पड़ा है, उठाने वाला चाहिए. दिल्ली और बॉम्बे की सड़कों पे पैसा बिखरा पड़ा है, उठाने वाला चाहिए. Means a lots of money is there lying on the road. You have to have the guts to take that money. Okay. So this opportunity is there. If you want to have the opportunity, you are most welcome. What you can do is you can have SME IPO anywhere from 2 crores to 100 crores. Anywhere from 2 crores to 100 crores. Right. If you go for SME IPO, you can create valuation in your business. You can increase the valuation. You can unlock the value of your business. And you can even become a unicorn company. Do you know what a unicorn company is? What is a unicorn company? These are all practical case studies, my dear. I'm not showing any fictitious figures. Okay. These are all practical case studies. Real companies who came out with IPO and real market value. 1 billion, correct. Companies with a market valuation of $1 billion is known as a unicorn. Okay. Is known as not 100 crore, $1 billion, right? Is a unicorn company. How many unicorns are there in India? How many unicorns are there in India? Do you know? India में कितनी unicorn companies है? 10, 100, 102, 100. Well, thank you everyone. The number is exactly 107. 107 unicorns हैं India में. That means they are having a unicorn status by way of having market valuation of over 1 billion. These are some of the companies, right? This is a very interesting example. This company, EKI Energy Services, they came out with an IPO in April 21. IPO, SME IPO was there in April 2021. And in January 22, this company gained the status of a unicorn. This company became a unicorn in just 9 months after the SME IPO. This is the person, Mr. Manish Dapkara. He is the owner of this company, and the name of the company is EKI Energy Services. Okay. Is it not mind-boggling? A company coming out with an SME IPO and becoming a unicorn within just 9 months. Boom. किसका दिमाग का बत्ती जला? सेमी. मजा आया? किसको मजा आया? गुड 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 गुड. बाकियों को नहीं आया. गुड 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 गुड. Thank you everyone. So you may be surprised that India has got more than 10 crore demat accounts. And for how many applications you need? Just 50. 10 crore demat accounts, you need just 50 applications. So chances of your IPO getting subscribed are very, very, very bright. Very bright. Okay. Now, are you getting value for your investment? Are you getting value for your investment? You will say, we have not paid anything for this webinar. Of course, you are attending it free of cost, but you have invested your time and your focus. Are you getting value for that? If you're getting value, say yes. If you're not getting, you can say no. Good, good. Thank you everyone. Now, what next? After knowing all these things, what next? What next? The answer is IPO. SME IPO. So who wants to come out with an SME IPO? Come on, tell me. Say me. If you want to come out with an SME IPO, say me. Fast. Good, 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 good. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone. Now, You want to come out with an IPO. I'm giving a very small example. You want to drive a car. You go to the showroom, buy a car, and you drive it. You take the test drive, like the car, buy it, and drive it home. This is the situation. And there can be another situation. There are consultants in the market in India itself who will say, आपको हम समझाएंगे, I'll teach you how to do the IPO, what is required, how to do it, this, that, blah, blah, blah. They may charge 1-2 lakhs just for giving this information. Just for giving this information, and they'll continue giving the information for at least 1 year. And they'll charge around 2 lakhs of rupees just for giving the information. No IPO thing actually. So, आपको mechanic बनना है, you have to become a mechanic or a auto engineer, or you want to learn, if you just have to learn driving if you want to drive a car. What is required? You have to learn driving, or you have to be an automobile engineer. Tell me. Driving, of course. If you want to drive a car, you have to learn a driving. You don't have to become an automobile engineer. Mr. Mohammed, you are slightly mistaken. You don't have to be both. You don't have to be both. कितने लोगों को मालूम है कार का बोनेट के नीचे क्या होता है? Engine है, but how it works? You don't know. Okay, so you learn driving. So that is the difference. You can go for learning the process, paying around 2 lakhs of rupees and spending 1 year in just learning. And after that, you start working on your IPO. Or otherwise, you can start right now. What you can do is, you can book a 30-minute one-to-one Zoom call with me. When I say one-to-one, that means you can have your partner, your father, your spouse, or your advisor along with you who can attend the meeting, right? So those who want to book a one-to-one with me can use this link and make the payment. This is just a very small amount, token amount of 1,000 rupees.